Shankhya and Vedanta Part 2. The meditative state is called always the higher state by the yogi. When it is neither a passive nor an active state, in it you approach nearest to the Purusha. The soul has neither pleasure nor pain, it is the witness of everything. The eternal witness of all work, but it takes no fruit from any work. As the sun is the cause of sight of every eye, but it is not itself affected by any defects in the eye, or as when a crystal has red or blue flowers placed before it, the crystal looks red or blue, and yet it is neither. So the soul is neither passive nor active, it is beyond both. The nearest way of expressing this state of the soul is that it is meditation. This is Shankhya philosophy. Next, Shankhya says that the manifestation of nature is for the soul. All combinations are for some third person. The combinations which you call nature, these constant changes, are going on for the enjoyment of the soul, for its liberation, that it may gain all this experience from the lowest to the highest. When it has gained it, the soul finds it was never in nature, and that it was entirely separate, that it is indestructible, that it cannot go and come, that going to heaven and being born again were in nature and not in the soul. Thus the soul becomes free. All nature is working for the enjoyment and experience of the soul. It is getting this experience in order to reach the goal, and that goal is freedom. But the souls are many according to the Shankhya philosophy. There is an infinite number of souls. The other conclusion of Kapila is that there is no God as the creator of the universe. Nature is quite sufficient by itself to account for anything. God is not necessary, says the Shankhya. The Vedanta says that the soul is in its nature, existence absolute, knowledge absolute, bliss absolute. But these are not qualities of the soul, they are one, not three, the essence of the soul, and it agrees with the Shankhya in thinking that intelligence belongs to nature in as much as it comes through nature. The Vedanta also shows that what is called intelligence is a compound. For instance, let us examine our perceptions. I see a blackboard. How does the knowledge come? What the German philosophers call the thing in itself of the blackboard is unknown. I can never know it. Let us call it X. The blackboard X acts on the mind, and the mind reacts. The mind is like a lake. Throw a stone in the lake and a reactionary wave comes towards the stone. This wave is not like the stone at all, it is a wave. The blackboard X is like a stone which strikes the mind, and the mind throws up a wave towards it, and this wave is what we call the blackboard. I see you. You as reality are unknown and unknowable. You are X and you act upon my mind, and the mind throws a wave in the direction from which the impact comes, and that wave is what I call Mr. and Mrs. So and so. There are two elements in the perception, one coming from outside and the other from the inside, and the combination of these two, X plus mind, is our existence, external universe. All knowledge is by reaction. In the case of a whale, it has been determined by calculation how long after its tail is struck its mind reacts and the whale feels the pain. Similar is the case with internal perception. The real self within me is also unknown and unknowable. Let us call it Y. When I know myself and so as so and so, it is Y plus the mind. That Y strikes a blow on the mind. So our whole world is X plus mind external and Y plus mind internal. Y and X standing for the thing in itself behind the external and the internal worlds respectively. According to Vedanta, the three fundamental factors of consciousness are I exist, I know, and I am blessed. The idea that I have no want, that I am respectful, restful, peaceful, that nothing can disturb me, which comes from time to time, is the central fact of our being, the basic principle of our life, and when it becomes limited and becomes a compound, it manifests itself as existence, phenomenal, knowledge phenomenal, and love. Every man exists, and every man must know, and every man is mad for love. He cannot help loving. Through all existence, from the lowest to the highest, all must love. The why, the internal thing in itself, which combining with mind manufactures existence, knowledge and love, is called by the Vedantists existence absolute, knowledge absolute, bliss absolute. That real existence is limitless, unmixed, uncombined, knows no change, is the free soul. When it gets mixed up, muddled up as it were with the mind, it becomes what we call individual existence. It is plant life, animal life, human life, just as universal space is cut off in a room, in a jar, and so on. And that real knowledge is not what we know, not intuition, nor reason, nor instinct. When that degenerates and is confused, we call it intuition. When it degenerates more, we call it reason. And when it degenerates still more, we call it instinct. That knowledge itself is vijnana, neither intuition nor reason nor instinct. The nearest expression for it is all knowingness. There is no limit to it, no combination in it. That bliss, when it gets clouded over, we call love, attraction for gross bodies or fine bodies or for ideas. This is only a distorted manifestation of that blessedness. Absolute existence, absolute knowledge, and absolute blessedness are not qualities of the soul, but the essence. There is no difference between them and the soul. And the three are one. When we see the one thing in three different aspects, they are beyond all relative knowledge. That eternal knowledge of the self percolating through the brain of man becomes his intuition, reason, and so on. Its manifestation varies according to the medium through which it shines. As souls, there is no difference between man and the lowest animal, only the latter's brain is less developed and the manifestation through it, which we call instinct, is very dull. In a man, the brain is much finer, so the manifestation is much clearer, and in the highest man, it becomes entirely clear. So, with existence, the existence which we know, the limited sphere of existence is simply a reflection of that real existence, which is the nature of the soul. So, with bliss, that which we call love or attraction is but the reflection of the eternal blessedness of the self. With manifestation comes limitation, but the unmanifested, the essential nature of the soul, is unlimited. To that blessedness, there is no limit, but in love, there is limitation. I love you one day, I hate you the next. My love increases one day and decreases the next, because it is only a manifestation.